And I do believe that we are getting going, guys. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Monday, the 29th of July, AD 2024. And it is going to be a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report show. I will get to your calls, your super chats, guys. It should be a pretty fun show, hopefully. Yes, indeed. Nice. Exciting. What will I cover today? Well, first of all, Elon Musk is all excited about Trump. And he's like, save the children. Elon Musk, save the children. You know, his son is dead to him, he said. And I won't tell you that part of the story so much, but I will share with you something that Trump said. So check that out. Check it out when I get to it. I also wanted to touch on, what did I want to hit? Over on, oh yeah, Kamala Harris. Low IQ, Trump said. And that's supposed to be racist. What a mess. And the most promiscuous countries. I hope to share that with you. And of course, your calls, guys, if you'd like to call in. But anyway, everybody, let's get right on. Oh, hold on one moment. Right? Is that thing okay? With the show. Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? Thank you, Nick. I am fine. I have my mildly attractive t-shirt on. There are multiple designs now. There's one without the gal. Without the gal, okay? So if you prefer it without the female emoji, you can get your mildly attractive t-shirt by going to teespring.com/stores/The Hake Report. The Hake Report.creator-spring.com is the other thing. The HakeReport.com. Nice. And it's, which color is this? Mauve? I think this one is mauve. My other t-shirt is desert pink. And this looks pink, but it's not. It's mauve. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. You know, Lord have mercy. Too many alerts happening right now. Let me present this story quickly to you, because I would like to make sure that I do get to it. Let's see here, guys. Elon Musk is like, save the children. Can you believe it? Save the kids. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, I'll tell you that much. Let's see, am I doing this right? Elon Musk is eager to save the babies, which is what, you know who also wanted to save the babies was Marvin Gaye. Save the babies. But check this story out. Let me show you the one that, okay, let's see. 8. Studio 8. Key 1. Oh no. There we go. Key 1. And we're going. Boom. Okay, so here comes this story for you guys. Elon Musk is on a mission ever since his son turned into his quote-unquote daughter, okay? What a mess. Did you know that? I heard it on his interview with Jordan B. Peterson. And do I need to unmute this? Probably 2, 4, 6, 8. Thank you. That one. Okay, so here's Elon Musk saying, save our kids. You see that? Check this out. Save our kids. No, I don't want to be James. Okay, and he posted this from Simon Ateba. Simon Ateba is an African guy who's American, I guess. He's the chief White House correspondent at Today News Africa in Washington, D.C. Maybe he's not American. He was kind of hitting on Karine Jean-Pierre. Sort of. I couldn't really tell. But he's kind of funny / interesting. And he seems to be somewhat of a Trump supporter. Breaking. Trump on day one. Trump says, on day one, he's at Turning Point Action. TPUSA. Colin Inc. Playing around, TPUSA. We love them. On day one, I will sign a new... Well, they are Con Inc., but we love them anyway. We love Con Inc. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, CRT, which, to me, that's too little too late, because they're all teaching this fake idea of racism. They all teach the civil rights stuff. That is the same thing. But fair enough, Trump, independent thinker, and he's not for that mess, and he knows that the people are not for that mess. He also will cut anything about transgender insanity and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children. Maybe I should log into my Twitter. And will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or mask mandate. We should probably just defund all the schools. But maybe that's too quick, because we've been funding them. Maybe you got to phase it out eventually. Not 1 penny to any school that has a vax mandate. What? I thought he was Mr. Vaccine Salesman. He's not Mr. Vaccine Mandate or mask mandate. I will keep men out of women's sports. So here's his little speech here. Let me see if I can make sure that this is not too loud. Here we go. Come on. Where is the mouse? Oh, I think.
Save our kids is right. Save our kids is right.
Oh, okay.
And you're right. Thank you.
Okay.
And I will not give 1 penny.
Here we go.
On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children.
Isn't that nice?
Thank you. It's true. Save our kids is right.
Save our kids
is right.
Elon Musk.
You're right. Thank you. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. Not a penny. And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay.
Yeah! Whatever. Thank you. So that's the news from, well, that was a couple of days ago. It's old news, honestly. That's from Friday. But thank you, Simon Ateba, for the information. See, Trump is not for the schmacks. You know what I mean? He's okay with the people having their freedom. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? The people. Kevin says his ear is literally completely 100% normal, by the way. What, you mean like his ear is just fine? Interesting. Cool. He said that area of the body bleeds a lot. He's like, why was there so much blood? And the doctor said it bleeds a lot. So you guys want to be bashing? Oh yeah, the schmack scene. Oh yeah, and I showed you last week that Trump is an independent thinker on the schmack scene. He was having a nice conversation with RFK Jr., one of our primary anti-schmacks people, anti-vaxxers. Our being America's, you know. He's one of the foremost in the anti-schmacks movement. And you have to be for freedom, for people's freedom, children's freedom. Get rid of these schools are a problem, you know. They're not a problem, they are a symptom of the issue. What a mess. One more quick story, guys. This gal, this woman is evil. And I'm not necessarily talking about Kamala Harris. I'm talking about this gal, AJ, not Gallardo, Delgado. Not a man, not the man, AJ Gallardo, who is sort of a liberal, I think, you know, my friend, who made the Hake Report theme song originally, the original one that I play Fridays. But this gal, AJ Delgado, don't harass her, guys and gals. But she posted this. Everyone realizes this is race-based, right? Because, look, there's no possible way you can call someone who passed the California bar exam, exclamation mark in the parentheses, was a successful attorney and prosecutor, and became a successful senator, low IQ. It was code for black. At this point, if you support him, just admit you share this view. And she quote tweets this Republicans against Trump thing. Republicans against Trump. AJ Delgado. Quote tweeting, Republicans against Trump. I'm running against a low IQ individual. Her, Trump says, of cackling Kamala Harris. I'm not even talking about him. Her. I got a low IQ individual. And Republicans against Trump calls it a clown emoji. Trump is speaking at a Bitcoin 2024 Nashville thing, apparently here, broadcast by Right Side Broadcasting. And he says this. Listen to this. Let's see if I can get it to go.
This room is amazing. The people in this room, high IQ individuals. I'm running against a low IQ individual, her. I'm not even talking about him, her. I got a low IQ individual.
That's right. It's a fact. Thank you, Trump. I think it's a fact. What's the over-under on, I don't even know what over-under means. But what is cackling Kamala Harris's IQ? It's a typical woman like this gal, this AJ Delgado gal, to say, look at this. Who is this? MAGA original. She's a founding, she calls herself, there's her little cute little baby boy. I'll tell you more about him in a second. I think that's hers. Pretty sure, right? She's a MAGA, Make America Great Again original / founder, so she claims. She wants to stake a claim on MAGA, Make America Great Again. But now she's proudly anti-Trump. Kissing emoji. Oh, maybe this is why she thinks that you have to be high IQ to become a lawyer. Pass the California bar, which I hear is tough to pass, by the way. Especially if you're a white man. I don't know if they give preferential treatment somehow. Lawyer via Harvard Law School. She's all into this mess. She may as well be kind of black. But no, she's like a white Hispanic gal, I think. Delgado, right? The official account for Harvard Law School. She's linking that. Oh, she's made with Cuban parts. Proud mammy of rescued dogs and one human boy. Wills, my blue heart. Hashtag 316. What is that, John 316? And she also says her Instagram, so you can check out her Instagram. But I don't encourage it. We don't do those things. But that's her, AJ Delgado. And boy, is she a nasty woman. she's all believing in your. This is dumb. It reminds me of the blacks in that they're all into this title stuff. Women and shout out to the women and the blacks, but you guys are a mess because you're all into, oh, look, on paper, Kamala Harris was a lawyer, a prosecutor, the DA under, what was that? San Francisco DA, was she? I know that she was an attorney general or whatever for California because I became aware of her because Obama was like, she's the most attractive attorney general or something like that. And he had to like apologize or something because she's like one of the only female attorneys general. And she's, you know, mildly attractive. But a shallow person is going to look at, oh, she's, and she became a senator. She was a prosecutor. She put people in jail. Good for her. Nice. That's the one good thing she did. No, I don't even know if she did that right. Some say that she didn't even care when one person was innocent, turned out innocent. But I don't know if you can blame her for that. Whatever. Maybe you can. It's code for black. I don't even think of Kamala as black. She tries to be kind of black. She tries to be in with the blacks, but she doesn't come off as black. Her Indian side comes out more. Because, you know, she has those pretty Indian eyes and pretty Indian, whatever, hair and countenance. It's not that black. And her behavior is also not that black. I know she tries to play black a little bit, but no, it's her demeanor. Her demeanor is dumb. And also, her views are dumb and evil. If she really even holds any real views. She reminds me of Biden in that Biden doesn't... My impression of Biden is that he doesn't actually believe in anything that he pretends that he believes in. He believes in... Just my impression is that he just goes along with whatever the crowd is going, especially the more radical crowd. And he just goes with that. Partly for power, partly for people pleasing, maybe partly for mama spirit. And she may well be smart on some level. And Biden may be smart on some level. They kind of have to be on some level, right? Especially Biden. Because he's a man. He was not that Chad of a man in his fatter days. He was, hey, Caitlin Clark or AJ Delgado, who's prettier? I don't know. I'd have to see more of AJ Delgado other than just this one picture that she's had ever since 2016. I feel like she's had that same picture since 2016. And it's been 8 years, you know. So who knows? I was surprised to see how Trump changed in 8 years or 9 years. I saw him in a 2015 clip. Remember I played that 2015 clip of Trump talking about whatever? He was talking about John McCain. He looked remarkably younger than he does today. Still looks great, but, you know. Hake, please start saying they're all beautiful in their own way instead of mildly attractive. Thanks, says Seasal. I shall consider your request and put it in my request box. This is my request box. Thank you, Seasal. Appreciate that request. But no, Kamala Harris is not... She doesn't come off as smart. We know that there is such a thing as affirmative action. And we know that that features women a lot. That it favors women a lot. And we know that it's not just in policy, unofficial policy. It's also in people's hearts. They like cater and kiss up to her. So I don't know how much she earned in terms of these achievements. I I suppose I respect it on some level, on some worldly level. Successful attorney, prosecutor, successful senator, but she is kind of low IQ. She comes off as crazy, cackling, trying to play like she can explain things simply. And maybe she can, but she just hasn't successfully done it on a short soundbite. And also, she's a liberal. She's a liberal. Which is kind of black. But anyway, somebody responded. Who responded down there? Oh, I don't have it handy. Oh, because I'm not logged in. Okay, well, this one guy was like, well, I don't know. Blacks are a bit more low IQ, but on an individual level, this woman is not bright. She's not that bright. Kamala Harris. So anyway, that's silliness from her. And there was a woman who said, oh, James Kirkpatrick. Yes, blacks collectively do have lower IQ. He says low IQ. But as an individual, Kamala is also pretty dumb. And somebody's like, easy to say behind a keyboard. And one other person is like, what a sad, pathetic excuse for a man you are. For acknowledging reality. Momos, don't hurt momos, is racists tell themselves anything to sleep better at night. What a mess. Ridiculous. Shameful AJ Delgado, a turncoat. Let me tell you a little bit about this gal. This woman who's showcasing her little child, and then I'll get to calls, guys. She was with Jason something. This is the gossip, and I know it because it made news. She was with somebody. She was supposedly, I guess, in Trump's campaign. Sorry. When I hear the word tramp, I'm thinking Lady and the Tramp. The dog, the male dog. When you guys hear tramp, you're thinking a woman who's like loose morally. Not morally straight. She's loose morally. But no, I'm thinking, anyway. She's proudly anti-Trump. And I say that it's partly personal, is my theory. I don't have any proof of it, but look at this gal. She had this boy, and she had this boy out of wedlock because she and this other man in the Trump campaign, blanking on his name, kind of a fatter guy. I think he's still with Trump to this day. I could be wrong. They got together, had a baby out of wedlock, and then they split up, and then she turned nasty. You know, when there's a nasty breakup, they hate each other. They hate each other. And so she's just turned vicious because her man is with Trump and she's no longer with him. She turned. What a mess. Yeah, that guy, he got... Jason Miller, thank you, King Glizzer. Jason Miller. She's pretty, says I'm not yours, Karen. Yeah, I agree. Pretty evil. What a mess, huh? Poor boy. The ego evil of selfish people having the S out of wedlock, having the kids, having the fallout, and then they're spreading it into the politics, into people's lives, and she's hating Trump over it. That's the viciousness of a woman. Jason Miller denied the allegations made against him by a former Trump campaign aide with whom he had an affair in 2016, according to, spoiler alert, Newsweek. Huh. I don't know what allegations she made, because sleeping together out of wedlock is not a crime, so it wouldn't be really an allegation. But I was pretty sure that it was reported that it was by him. Maybe she made some nasty accusations against him afterwards. But it's a sick world, you know. I think of tramp as in homeless bum that lets their encampment burn. Says Big Bump, who sent me this tip about over in San Gabriel Valley. Yet another brush fire inside Santa Fe Dam in Irwindale. Beautiful Santa Fe Dam in Irwindale. What a mess. That's where they have the Renaissance Fair. It's just a beautiful little area. Woods, grass, trails, fishing, Renaissance Fair sometimes, biking, walking, picnics. Same location of a brush fire that occurred one day before, says SGV, San Gabriel Valley City Watch. I personally heard explosions happening as the fire burns. I did a spot, so reports this person, SGV City Watch, according to him on X, right? I did spot a homeless encampment present during yesterday's blaze. And most homeless don't want fires to start. They want to be able to be bums in peace. But some of them are a mess. Actually, most of them are a mess. Even the ones who want to be a bum in peace. Donald Trump ally responds to rape accusations. Oh, Lord. Thank you, spoiler alert, for that tip. What a mess. All right, so it's sick stuff going on in the world. R word. Not the Renaissance Fair, Hake. I never went. I only know about it because I went to Azusa Pacific University art school, art classes. And people were like, oh, Ren Fair. And some of the girls would dress weird. Like old style. Anyway, I got to get to some calls, guys. Thank you for holding, everybody. Serge in Texas is on the line here. Serge, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man? How you doing? Hey.
Pretty good. Hey, I wanted to ask you if you've heard any new information on that case, and you still have the same perspective.
I have not heard any new information on the case. You're talking about the case of Sonya Massey, the gal who got herself shot, I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And obviously, since I haven't heard anything new, I don't have any new perspective on it other than looks like the cop may or may not have been right. And she doesn't sound like she was in her right mind for sure.
Yeah. I think that there's so many videos. I don't know if you've seen what the people are doing, the blacks and the whites, man. They're just so, oh man, brother. And every time I get ready to say something about somebody, it's so hard now because when you somewhat opening your eyes, you start to realize what you're about to say might be within you. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So
well, go ahead and say it. Let's hear.
They're so weak. They're so weak, man. Like, they're just immediately going to race. And I'm just like, where did race come from in this story?
I know.
Where?
I mean, that's a good question. Because she was simply because she was black and he was white. Even my caller who's on the side of like Mark and I'm going to get to some super chats. Even my caller who's on the side of Mark in Los Angeles, David in Ocala, Florida. It's like, he's racist. I'm like, what? And then later he kind of took it back, but it makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him say that, man. Serge is watching the show, man. I definitely heard him say it.
Uh-huh.
My thing is very simple. If you look at the law and what the law states, it said a couple interesting things, just as far as basics that we already know, which is a person can use deadly force if the person is a threat to another officer or another person, right? And so are they going to, I guess the question is, are they going to classify the boiling hot water as a weapon? That's one question. And then it says that he can use deadly force if he warns the person that he's going to use deadly force before he used deadly force to be under the law. So I think he was covering himself, but he definitely overreacted. We can all agree with that. He overreacted because there's. But I also think that he really did not want to take hot water to his body.
Right. He may or may not have.
Didn't.
I don't know if I agree that he overreacted. I acknowledge he may well have. It sounded like he has in the past overreacted under pressure.
Can I give you a factual example to kind of show you how he overreacted?
Sure.
Okay. Is a cop a professional job?
Yes.
Okay. Telling somebody that you're going to shoot them in the fucking face.
Don't
if
say
they
that out
were to
loud on my
baptize-
show, man. You know better than
Oh.
that. The heck? This is not the Anchor Baby After Hours.
Yo, I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
This is about
kids.
Everybody.
Sorry, kids,
telling
ladies.
somebody that they're going to shoot you in the face is, do you think that is a calm thing or an overreaction?
I don't know whether it's an overreaction. It might not be. It doesn't sound calm, but I don't know whether it's an overreaction.
Because you can discipline and be in that right spirit. He was not in that right spirit.
Based
So
on that statement?
I'm going to call that.
Based on what he
I'm
said
going
there?
to call that an overreaction. Well, that's where I'm getting that from, at least.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think that if you look at the legal system, I think that there's a strong possibility that he can get off. But I think that because he's white, he won't.
Yeah, I know, huh? Yeah, I mean, they've made it a national, probably international story. Spoiler alert says, and I thought of this too, cops curse to let you know the situation is very serious.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it
uses
was
that.
appropriate or not. I'm at this point, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's really, do you sense that we should not even be caring about this story?
I do.
Yeah.
I do sense that. The reason why I looked into it is because now, Hank, it's fascinating to like come across the same things that you were into before and see it from a totally different perspective. I probably would have been the guy who was saying that, I was into my blackness, man, and stuff like that. So it's fascinating to come around and be able to use logic instead of just going with massa, the black community.
Yeah.
And just picking this and say, this is another white cop shooting down innocent black people. So I guess that's why I'm into it a little bit more than I should. So
True.
It's one of those things where I'm just watching, man.
Yeah. It's easy to get sucked in because of ego, identifying with ego and this excitement and stuff, and puffing up in thinking other people don't know what you know and see and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm also not saying that to anybody. I'm saying it to you for the sake of conversation. But
I know. I'm not criticizing you
people.
even, really, specifically. Yeah. I'm just talking about how this stuff works. It's kind of like flat Earth for me. The flat Earth stuff, it's interesting how people will just jump to conclusions. And also, it's interesting how the flat earthers and some of the baltards, well, really a lot of the baltards, everybody really, is looking down on one another over a disagreement and getting all mad over a disagreement that has nothing to do with them or anybody. Like, you can't, it's like getting mad at the evil Olympics people for doing what they did. You can't control them. And being mad about it shows that they're controlling you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's a divide and conquer evil thing. That's why I really
You're not
love...
gonna fool me. Oh.
Go ahead.
You really love who?
I love hearing... I love hearing JLP break through the black people who are into the blackness, breaking through to them. They'll argue, JLP, and they will, discuss, argue, debate, whatever you want to call it, the little topic on the black thing, and then he'll break through on a human level, like on their real life level, anger, family situation, humor, and just he keeps it light, and it's light and real, and I mean like not just lighthearted, but also shining the light of
Hank, and everybody is taking
big picture.
that as an intellectual of what he's doing in that moment, but it's literally it's the power of the presence.
Yeah.
That spirit. It has nothing to do with intellect. So they take what he's saying intellectually, and they're missing that he's patient and he's not responding out of his intellect.
Right.
He's seeing what's there to deal with, and then he's going off of that. And if he doesn't understand, he'll say, I don't understand.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to use this scenario for John in Kentucky real fast on the race thing or being profiled or whatever. Because
John in Kentucky called my show on Friday talking with Big Bump and me, my co-host on Friday. And John in Kentucky believed for sure that Trayvon Martin was racial, and because he's been profiled for being black. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Perfect setup, man. So as I'm like a personal trainer in one of my businesses, at least, for dogs. I'm running in these high-end neighborhoods, man, and long story short, I dropped one of my phones that I walk with two phones, and I had to go back. So I spun the block in my car, and I'm driving slow to look on the street. So a guy he basically follows me, and he bends the corner. He's following me. He's taking pictures of my car. And then he pulls up on the side of me. Does a little bit too much, a little George Zimmerman-ish.
Yeah.
And so I rolled down my window. I'm like, can I help you? And he goes, I'm just not used to people riding slow around here.
Right.
And to me, I'm a little bit of a interesting fella. So in my head, it sounds like we're not used to Negroes around here. So,
oh.
but I was playing a joke in my head. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I responded by being rude instead of nice. I said, how's your wife, Rhonda? Because I knew he knew that he didn't know I knew his wife, because I speak to everybody.
Wow. Terrible.
So he was so mad that he pulls out his phone. He looked like he's going down to grab a gun. He pulls out his phone, takes a picture of me, and then speeds off. Now, one could say that he racially profiled me, but I understand what he exactly did. So let me tell you what he did. It's a nice community. He's looking at me that he's never seen. Everybody's allowed to look out for their neighbors in their community. He thought it was maybe some suspicious activity,
right,
that he wanted to investigate. So he investigated. It's okay if he could take pictures of my license plate. You don't know who's taking pictures of your license plate when you go in the house or in your apartment.
Yeah, you're in the public.
Totally
they can,
fine.
Yeah, you can't stop people.
So long story short, it goes off into the community. They look, they go, this guy has not even a speeding ticket. This guy is squeaky clean. Everybody was so upset with these people. What's funny is they have multiple Trump flags, and we're friends now. We talk. We went to dinner. They're good people. They still use language like Mark, which is why I like them, because I know they're real.
Right.
They say Negroes and stuff like that, or they say the blacks,
right,
and they only listen to JLP. So. But
nice.
I put them on. I told them. I put them on. I was like, yo, you got to watch this. This is every morning. Every morning. But, yeah, long story short, that's pretty much what happens. That's not racially profiling. That's protecting their community. They would have done it with Hispanic or anybody else of any other color.
Yeah,
Maybe not white.
It sounds like it looked like you were casing the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or,
acting. So if it's a poor white, I want to explain that one, though. If it's a poor white, they'll do the same thing. But if he's a white guy in a suit, they might not do it.
Yeah, I mean, if it all depends on the presentation, and you don't always know how you're coming off to people, and what indicators you also, because there's so much that people can read from us that we're not aware that they're reading,
Yeah, so John in Kentucky,
misreading
too,
with
that,
potentially.
Let me know, man. Let me know if you disagree with that. I enjoy you. I won't say I love you, because I don't got no love. I'll be honest. Everybody lying about love. Joel, he be lying about love like he got love. Got no
Oh, come
love.
on. Joel's a... Nah. All right, man. Well,
Look at
thank
the
you.
son.
Interesting
He don't
call.
even love the son. Don't even love Joel. Look at that.
Who?
The son.
Oh, yeah. He got burned.
That's what
He got
Yeah,
burned
I
like
saw
a
it.
white. That's funny.
Have a good one, man.
You as
Appreciate
well.
it.
Thank you, Serge. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Let's get to Michael. I believe it's Michael in PA, Pennsylvania. Michael, thank you for calling, man. How you doing?
Good, good. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Oh, no, this guy's... Oh, that's a graduate. That's a graduate. I don't blame the call screener for not recognizing. That's Hamza. Hamza is banned. But thank you for your call. You're not supposed to call the office. You're not supposed to call the radio shows or anything. No communication. We don't want to hear from you ever again. Please. Thank you. What a mess. Those of you who may not remember, he got banned. This guy who pretended to be called Michael. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, let me read some super chats. Greggatron said on Thursday, I think. This is for Joe. Joe, when JLP says most blacks, quote unquote, because Joe from Phoenix calls my show, well, you and Jesse are a mess. When JLP says most blacks, he's saying most blacks support the Democrats, 1. 2, support BLM in Georgia, Florida, 2. 3, blame the system when a black commits a crime, 4. They don't want to snitch on criminals, 5. Most blacks have babies out of wedlock, and 6. Most blacks support abortion. And I know some of the counters that Joe from Phoenix would say to you, Greggatron, but all of the things that you said are undeniable in terms of those who participate in that stuff or have any commentary about it. Most of them are for all that stuff, overwhelmingly, far more than per capita than the whites or Hispanics or Asians. Support the Democrats. Well, Greggatron, let me get my snake out. And then I'll debunk his debunking. I'll get my snake out so they... I'm talking about Joe, it's the Hake and Snake show, okay? Hake is rated G. Greggatron. Most blacks don't even vote, so how do you know that they support Democrats? 90-something percent, 80 to 90 to 96 to 98% in the case of the black women who voted against Judge Roy Moore, the good judge out of Alabama, for the U.S. Senator. They voted for that other guy, Democrat. How do you know that they support? Those who vote, 96%, 96% voted for Obama twice of those who voted, blacks. 96% of blacks who voted in the Obama elections voted for Obama. Both elections. That's out of control. There's no other race that supports so lopsidedly the evil side. The evil side. It's not like they're standing for what's right, overwhelmingly. Support BLM, Georgia, Florida. I don't know about... Where's your statistics? Where's your statistics, Greggatron? Blame the system when a black commits the crime. That's even the snake. The snake says poverty causes crime. That is the snake. And whose fault is it they're poor? Their own fault. Well, he's not poor. He's a millionaire, according to him, which I believe. I believe everything that comes out of Joe the Snake's mouth. That's why it's called this Hake and Snake show, because I'm a sucker for his lies. I get seduced by his, just the facts, Hank, just the facts. I'm kidding. I don't necessarily believe a lot of what he says. He has very poor judgment. Very poor judge of character. They don't want to snitch on criminal. No snitch culture. Yeah, that's out of control in the black community, far more than other communities, if you want to call it a community. Have babies out of wedlock. Most blacks are not having babies. I'm butchering his voice. Yeah, but those who are having babies, 78% of black American women, non-immigrant blacks, are having them out of wedlock, according to recent stuff from the Center for Immigration Studies. I think they did it, because they found that the black immigrants are having them out of wedlock, but less. And the immigrants in general on other races are not having them out of wedlock as much as the native-born, Americanized degenerates. What a mess. Thank you, Greggatron. And I wonder where's your statistics, Greggatron, on most blacks support abortion? Well, they are twice as likely to get abortion, or 3 times as likely per capita, or per their share of pregnancies or something. I forget what the numbers are, but they definitely have a higher incidence of abortion. They may even be aborting more raw numbers than the whites, but I may be wrong. Because the whites and the blacks may be aborting in similar raw numbers. The blacks get pregnant more often, and there are far more whites, but it's a mess. Thank you, Greggatron. And speaking of, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, Lin Yen Chin says, the I rebuke you in the name of Jesus is standard icebreaker and self-soothing, quote unquote, as you mouth breathers call it. Basic black woman noise, he says. He overreacted to her color for hate of same color criminals he despises due to their unpredictable nature, says Lin Yen Chin. So he's thinking that the cop did overreact because she was black. And so many blacks are very unpredictable. And she, too, did seem to be unpredictable. Well, why did she pick up that thing again? She was proving his overreaction kind of right. And when you overreact to, in fairness, when you overreact, you kind of cause the thing that you fear to happen. You know? It's like, I learned this, well, I didn't learn it in this, but I heard in Pasadena City College, some health class or some dumb thing. But it was a fun class. Teacher was kind of cute. She's all self-fulfilling prophecies. What you tell yourself, what you believe is going to happen, you end up making it happen. That's what happens with the blacks. That's what probably happens with cops sometimes when they overreact. It's what happens when people who get into fights a lot versus those of us who don't get into fights like ever. It's because it's a you problem, you know? So if you don't like getting in fights, if you do like getting in fights, then that's still a you problem. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin, who also said a female called JLP inquiring the origin of Trinity in Christianity. It's just insanity of mama wanted to be God. Yeah, it's interesting. You feel like God when you make somebody else a God. Or you feel like God, pridefully, when you have team Paul, team Apollos, team Jesus, team Christ. Christ is king. And you're saying it with that ego. Oh yeah, definitely. And shout out to the Groypers. I like the Christ is king chant. I like it, okay. But it can be all ego and emptiness. And you don't even really believe in Christ being king, otherwise you would be more like him, you know? Nice. Anyway, they call Mary Immaculate Conception because they gave her godhood via claiming she birthed God as his own son. Mother of God, they try to claim. Think for yourself. Self. Not self. Self. Nice. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Thanks for the proper spelling for that black vernacular. Oh, yeah, I think we should block this guy on X. Yeah, block Hamza. Hamza, go away. I love you, but go away. If I love anybody. Oh, and don't call the office. You're going to be reported to the FBI for communication harassment. Harassment. Harassment or harassment? Probably, CSAL, because you blocked him. Because he's evil. So you block a lot of evil people. But yeah, not allowed. Not welcome. Am I streaming on Punchy TV? Let's see. I always forget to check. What's up, Caroline? Oh, from Friday. Sweet. All right, so thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Appreciate that. More super chats. Oh, my goodness. I am remiss. Based America First says, reported during Hake News, the Supreme Court ruled state and local authorities, this was Friday, I believe, can clear homeless encampments. Gruesome, Gavin Newsom, issued an executive order to sweep them, the homeless encampments. Nice. In his video address, he said, we now have no excuse. You know, he has like a gruff voice. We now have no excuse. Gruesome uses the law as an excuse for state homeless program failures. Trump, says Based America First, was criticized for wanting to relocate homeless people into tents for care and rehabilitation. Tent cities. Or jailed if they refuse. Gruesome is doing that now, but not being criticized. Where are the cleared homeless going? There aren't that many $1 million per unit apartments in Santa Monica. Yeah, true. Popcorn's Thump Cake reduced the homeless issue to seeing it. Yeah, remember Popcorn's Thump Cake? He's like, these people are like, I don't want to have to see that. Yeah. But he reduced it to seeing it. But seeing homelessness is understanding the associated crime, vandalism, theft, safety, violence, fire, drug needles, health, illness, sanitation, economic, business obstruction, and other problems. Yeah, think about going into a room, a bedroom that's clean, or a house that's clean, or a neighborhood that's clean, trash is picked up, versus a neighborhood that's trashy, homeless bums around, litter, your room is a mess. One of them is a downer to you spiritually, if you're weak spiritually, right? Or, you know, it's just a downer and you don't want to be there. It's literally unpleasant. It's evil. They say cleanliness is next to godliness. So it's a downer. That brings down the value of everywhere, of where it is. It brings down property values and it brings down the value of the people. The people don't want to go there anymore. I've told this story where I went up to one of my favorite places to go, which is now shut down, by the way. And I turned around. It was one of my favorite spots, but there was this homeless bum being a evil, vulgar, homeless bum. All out in public, a mess. Being just nasty. And it wasn't even S-word type nasty. It was just gross. I'm like, okay, going home. Businesses are shutting down over this stuff too. How would 1 million tiny home city near Thacker Pass, continues Base America First, Nevada, where everybody mines lithium and watches JLP, avoid becoming a cesspool of drug and human trafficking perpetuated by caseworkers, security, and newly housed similar to the Chicago projects or prisons? Would cities consistently following the same process, sweeping homeless to where they get assistance and work, reduce homelessness? Zero government programs is best. Are regular bus trips to Hake Town better than thousands of different state programs? Would the narrative evolve into American Indians hate the homeless? Yeah, I know, huh? Make it a crime. Make some of this stuff a crime. Some of it should be. Is the plushie clean? I think so. It's a stuffed animal. I don't call it a plushie. Thank you, Base America First. It's wrong. I'm for slavery, enslaving them, you know? Until they... And have the... You know, I encouraged this and talked about it with... who's that guy who was on my show? Dylan Burns? And he's like, most people wouldn't want to be in charge of those homeless. So I think put the more responsible homeless, force them to be in charge over the irresponsible homeless and be the slave drivers, you know? Because there's all kinds of like city workers, city employees who have to take these other Caltrans volunteer criminals, forced volunteer manual labor type stuff around, and city cleanup and stuff like that, picking up trash, maintaining the sides of the freeways and stuff like that. So yeah, homeless solutions. And then eventually they can... slavery is a mindset, says Taylor D. Yeah, exactly. We're coming up at the top of the hour, guys. I would like to get back to some calls. I have more super chats to read. Mo Betta and more from Base America First and others. But let's get to Kentucky John. John in Kentucky on the line here. How you doing, John? What's up?
Man, I'm just calling to respond to Sergio. He had some advice for me.
Oh, okay.
But I don't understand what he meant by the story. I mean, that's like one of a million different stories that black people have to experience. Like, what is he trying to say?
He's trying to say that it's reasonable suspicion. Blacks get suspicion. Sometimes it's unfounded in the case of good blacks like you and Serge, but it's reasonable suspicion. So it doesn't have to escalate to a Trayvon Martin type situation, even if Trayvon was remotely racial because of his race. I think it was the whole picture.
Yeah, but was he trying to talk to me personally, or was he referring to the Trayvon Martin case?
He was referring to his own story and the bigger idea of racial profiling.
So is he taking the blame off of evil, racist white people that do go out looking for trouble? He's trying to take the blame off of them?
Yeah, because
you know they exist, right?
Very I don't know.
Oh, they do exist.
I know that there's some whites who are looking for trouble. They're very few and far between. But
heck no.
Heck yes. You just have a victim mindset.
Do you know that most white cops are evil?
No, man. How so? Maybe I agree with you. All white cops are... How about this? All white cops are evil. But why do you say most white cops are...
That's not true.
Yes, huh? Yes, it is.
That's not true.
Name one white cop who's not evil.
I mean, I don't know their names.
You can't.
I just know from my encounters with them, you can tell who are the polite, reasonable, fair-minded ones, and then you can tell the difference between the ones who pull you over and have a chip on their shoulder, and you can see the anger in their face and how they deal with you and speak to you, and they're short with you. Like, there's a lot of those people out there.
Oh, okay.
Honest to God, truth, man.
Oh, so that's what you mean by evil versus not evil. Just having a bad attitude.
Yeah, I mean, like if a guy grows up and his grandfather and his father have a certain view of how black people are, and he has these biases, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bred into him, or almost like part of his upbringing. When he deals with black people, he already has preconceived notions of how this guy's going to act, or like, let me just start raining. It's like, I mean, they're just, not fair. They're not fair people, man. They look at all of us the same way like you do. That's why when he was telling me his personal story about being in a white neighborhood looking for his phone, okay, I would do the same thing if I saw a car creeping through my neighborhood, and I'm a black man.
Yeah,
but that's mild.
Right.
Okay. Try getting pulled over at 2:00 in the morning, having guns pulled on you because they think you're somebody else.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
why you blame the cops if they think that you're somebody else, meaning you fit a description of a black criminal?
Think about the inconvenience,
right?
Hake.
No, I know. I get I get that it's inconvenience, but that means that you fit the description of a black criminal. That has nothing to do with racism. That has everything to do with the blacks committing the crime, and you look like them.
That's why I was telling Big Bump the other day, we're automatically suspicious because we're black men. And
no, not because you're black men, but because you have other black men doing the crimes.
Right.
So many of them.
So we're black.
You're black.
It's like our skin. It's like our skin is a strike against us, man.
No, it's like your fellow black is a strike against you.
Listen, I don't want to have to live my life every time a crime is committed. I'm automatically a suspect. You understand what I'm saying?
Life is. I know. I get you. I get
that.
you. But then you're. I get. Aren't you a black Hebrew Israelite trying to tell your fellow black men to be upright?
Israelite, yeah.
Aren't you trying to? Yeah. Aren't you trying to tell your fellow blacks to be upright?
Right.
That's all you can do.
The same thing.
That's all you can do.
The same thing.
I know, but that's all you can do because the black crime of the non-Israelites, and some of the Israelites probably may still commit crimes sometimes, but
no, they don't.
Okay, nice. Sometimes they do go crazy though. Didn't one shoot up some Jews, like a boyfriend girlfriend Israelites? Or am I
but he
confused?
said he was an Israelite. He's like one of those independent people that say they're Israelite.
A lot of them are angry. A lot of blacks are angry, and they're out of control and committing crimes, and so the good have to suffer with the bad.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. You know, Sergio shouldn't be calling in trying to give somebody advice when I have experienced probably more life than he has, and I know that it's not right that they're doing it, but like you say, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The same way they look at me, I'm always a suspect.
Yeah.
If I do get pulled over, the first thing I'm saying is, watch this, it's going to be one of them racist kind. You know, if it comes to my window, it's going to be like I'm already judging that person already.
Right. See, so you guys are judging each other.
Based on my other experiences, though, man. That's why I say most white cops are evil. Not all of them.
So most of them have a bad attitude with you?
Yeah, man.
So that could be a you problem.
Dude,
did you hear my self-fulfilling prophecies? I don't like the term.
Hold up. Time out. How is it a me problem?
Because I've had, Joel Friday has had experiences with cops, and not in Kentucky, but in California. And he's always had a good experience by and large. And so have I. I've had a couple of experiences with cops, and they're usually fine with me. Maybe
man,
you have a.
Boy.
I know, but I'm a nice person. I'm not like a.
I'm a nice person. Hey, I'm a yes sir, no sir type person.
Right.
But there's white cops out there who already they thrive on these type of situations. They want to be, and that's why they become cops. They didn't become cops because they want everything just to go smooth, man. They become cops because they like the thrill of having that adrenaline rush of having to chase somebody or having to shoot somebody or having to slam somebody and put their arms behind their back. They thrive on that stuff, man.
It's power.
I'm telling you, man.
I dream of the day that I get to be a...
Never.
No, I'm playing around. Interesting. Why are you attracting so many cops?
Because I'm big and I'm black. And
that's not the whole... Do you drive fast?
No, man. I drive like a granny, man. I either drive the speed limit or I drive 5 over.
How are you dressed?
I used to drive a Cadillac. I wear sports apparel. You know what I mean? I wear
that's your problem, man. You're not dressed. You're dressed like one of those.
You sound stupid. You sound stupid.
And you admitted you drove a Cadillac.
Black man is how I drove. Yeah, I used to drive a Cadillac in college.
And on top of that, you have this attitude that like you assume that I'm racist. Don't you assume that I'm racist?
Hake,
I'm like the least
you
racist.
Are racist.
But I'm
Man,
the
Hake,
nice
you're racist.
kind. I'm a reasonable racist.
I went to school with racist people that had to, you had to interact with.
Right.
But I went to a primarily white school. But you get to know them, they get to know you, and then they start to accept you, right?
Yeah.
And, you have your distance. You keep your distance. You interact with each other.
You should do that with all people anyway.
You break down a lot of their beliefs about black people.
Nice.
That's why you gotta kill them with kindness. Seriously, that's how you do it, man.
Right on, man.
Honest to God truth.
John in Kentucky.
Sergio, don't call and give me advice, man. That's just the weakest. That's the weakest example you could give. Because look, if somebody's creeping in your neighborhood, that's one thing.
Right.
But if you're just driving down the road, you ain't speeding or nothing like that, and a cop sees you and they want to fish or some drugs or something, and they're just searching for any little
Wouldn't
thing,
you appreciate that though? Because
Heck no.
No, listen to this.
No.
Listen to this. We've had problems in this area, and you cooperate with them because you don't want other
That's against
blacks.
the law.
It may be.
That's
It
against
may
the law.
be. You may be right. I don't know. It probably is. But when a lot of blacks and others when a lot of blacks are having drugs and stuff, maybe they will catch one that does have the drugs and the crime.
Of course. But
So then that's good. You had to go through the filter.
Yeah,
and you sailed on through.
I don't want to go through the filter. I don't want to go through the filter.
You just have to accept your life as it is. Everybody has their challenges.
Look,
don't be mad about it.
All you're going to do is have all these different lawsuits that blacks put on the city.
What a mess!
And charge y'all taxpayers money. That's all that happens. It happens all the time.
But you haven't done that, right?
No.
Thank you.
I would if it got to that point.
Oh, okay, good.
If it got to that point.
Well, I'm glad that it hasn't gotten to that point. Don't take it to that point.
Don't pull me over for nothing. Don't let dogs scratch my car. They let dogs scratch my car, man. Like,
they're sniffing your car and they scratch it?
That's happened more than once, man. Because if you don't let them search, they'll bring a dog.
Right.
You have to get out the car, and the dog is scratching all around your car. And you can't do nothing about it, man.
Well, if you're making enough money, hopefully you can move to a better area that doesn't have that crime problem, that drug and crime problem.
Well, that comes from going from, state to state, just traveling and stuff like that. You can't go through the wrong parts and stuff.
True. All right.
I don't know, man. Y'all white people, man. Y'all evil, man. Y'all gonna learn one day, though.
That's not a good attitude.
No, I'm saying y'all gonna learn one day when Jesus comes back and y'all be like, oh my God, who is that? Oh, that's a black man. Y'all gonna learn.
All right, John in Kentucky. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Take care. Wow. Before I get back to the super chats and calls, guys, there is one line open, 1-888-775-3773. Let's talk about these promiscuous countries, shall we? Promiscuous means having a lot of S out of wedlock. It's not right. Don't do it. Well, do what you want, of course, but it is a mess. So let me open up this. I saw this on Reddit. Yes, I go on Reddit. The world. Okay. Here we go over here, guys. They're having a lot of S out of wedlock, and I disavow it. Let's see. Will this work? Come on. Oh, yes. Which countries are the most promiscuous? And it has kissy lips emoji. Nasty. And it has the flat earth picture. Nah, this is like a globe. Canada, very pink. Russia, a little bit less pink. That indicates less promiscuous, I guess. Asia, Southeast Asia, less pink, less promiscuous. And then these African countries, they don't really document it very well. Is that South Africa? Pretty dark pink. What countries are some of these areas in Europe are more promiscuous than others? I don't recognize these countries by how they look. I never had to learn my European countries. That maybe once when I was sophomore year of high school. Is that Brazil? That big country? That's Brazil, right? Chile? I think that's Chile. It looks like a big chili bean. So these are most promiscuous, least promiscuous, and then gray is they don't know. They don't really have documentation. The 6 promiscuity factors used to determine the most promiscuous countries. The mean age, mean meaning one of the averages. It's when you add them all up and then divide by however many number there is, 100 points. The mean, median, and mode, right? Something like that. I forget what the mode is. Anyway, the 100 points, mean for age, the age at which people start engaging in S-word activity can indicate a more casual approach to promiscuous S-word. Sorry, kids, ladies. As the mean age increases, the score earned decreases. Okay, so if you have your first time having S at like 45, 50, 23, whatever, that's you're less promiscuous, right? Average number of S-word partners, nasty. A larger average number of S-word partners indicates a greater likelihood of multiple S-word jewel. And when I say S-word jewel, I'm not saying S-word Joel. Okay. Speaking of Joel, let me set my redirect to go to him. Are you scheduled, Joel, Friday here? Joel Friday TV. He's coming on. The Value of Money. His show is going to come on in about, I don't know, not long. 45 minutes, give or take. S-word jewel, sexual partners. Ugh. Partners. Eee. STD rate. Thank you for calling it an STD. Nowadays, the liberals want to call it an STI. S-word transmitted infection rather than disease. STI doesn't sound good. Make it sound better. Anyway, the prevalence of sexually transmitted diseases reflects the consequences of promiscuous S within the population. As the STD rate decreases, the score also decreases. Percentage of people who think premarital S between adults is morally acceptable or not a moral issue. The moral perception surrounding premarital S indicates the perception of promiscuity within the population. Aren't these kind of fun? Is prostitution legal? Legalizing or partially legalizing prostitution increases the availability and acceptance of promiscuous S. Is premarital sex illegal? If it's illegal, then you're supposed to be less promiscuous. So Australia, what's the age? 17 and 0.9. They're not even 18 years old and they're having the S. Brazil, 17 and a half. Greece, just over 18. Chile, 17. Look at all these. New Zealand, Germany, Italy, they're all like 17. Who is this? Italy is almost 19. Good for you, Italy. Switzerland, 18.2. Thailand, those Asians, based Asians, or Pacific Islanders, whatever you want to call them, 20 and a half. South Africa, 18.7. Czechia, Finland. Finland is 16 and a half? What's up with those Finnish? They're beautiful people. That's what's going on. Maybe. And they grow up tall, fast. UK, 18. Japan, 19. See, the Asians do it less. Mexico, I'm surprised that Mexico is that high, 18.7. Denmark, 16. Iceland, 15 and a half. 15 and a half years old, they're, on average, they're having the S. I suspect, too, maybe these white countries are just more honest. Maybe not. Maybe not. Turkey, Austria, they're like, they're They're all pretty much the same. Singapore, though, 22, almost 23 years old. Who's the oldest? India, almost 23 years old. Malaysia, 23 years old. The first time having S out of wedlock on average. Okay, so that's that one. Where's that? Israel. Oh, where is Israel? Is Israel on here? Where is it? Let's see Israel. Israel, 16. Oh, my gosh. 16, almost 17. Terrible, Israel. Come on, Israel. I think it's because I blame Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv and the younger generations are all worldwide. People are getting corrupt. Okay, I'm chuckling because somebody said something about the beautiful women. Okay, so what was this second thing? Average number of S-word partners. Look at this. Australia, more than 13 on average. Brazil, 9. Greece, 10. Chile, 10. New Zealand, 13. Germany, based Germany, only less than 6. S-word partners. That's gross, but Italy, 11. Switzerland, 11. Thailand. Even Thailand is like 10. South Africa, 12.5. And South Africa has all kinds of STDs. I think that's what that number is. 32,000 STDs per 100,000. Out of 100,000, you get a third of them having STDs. South Africa, they have an AIDS problem in South Africa, is what I heard. Anyway, look at all these numbers. Just high numbers. Slovakia, 5.4. That's one of the lower numbers. Is that where Melania is from? Good for you. Maybe it's Slovenia. Hong Kong, based Hong Kong, 3.7. It should just be 1. The heck? Why is it not just 1? I guess on average, a lot of people are going to be mess. Vietnam, 3.2. India, 3. China, 3. Whew. Terrible, huh? Okay, so look at the STDs. I think that's the STDs, right? STD rate per 100,000 people. Australia, 14. Basically, that's 14%. 14.5% of the population has the STDs. Brazil, 30%. 31%. 31,000 per, almost 32,000 per 100,000 people. That's wild, huh? I mean, it's different from like a murder rate. A murder rate is in like the tens per 100,000. Or maybe less than 10 if it's a beautiful white or Asian country. But it's like in the 40s or 50s or 60s per 100,000 in terms of murders. But STDs, way high. Yeah, South Africa, 32,000 per 100,000. Brazil, it's not much better. Who knew that Brazil was so degenerate? I guess they're known for being very S-wordual and looking, dressing up. No, getting like surgeries to look all S-wordy. The women, anyway, right? Aren't they kind of known for that? And what's weird is they don't even have to do that. Their bodies are kind of naturally womanly, but they don't know better. 11, Belgium, 11%. What's Mexico? Mexico, 21%, almost 22%. What's the United States? Almost 20%. Thanks a lot, Mexico. It's bleeding into America, maybe. No, a lot of blacks have that problem. Look at Israel. Israel, almost 10%, not quite 10% of the population has STDs. It's pretty high even in Vietnam, 20%. India, 10, 11%. Crazy, huh? Crazy. So stop having the S out of wedlock if you can help it. Percentage of people who think S between adults is morally acceptable and not a moral issue. That's what's wild to me. This is the Christian Cross, this one. 81% think it's not a problem in Australia. That's wild. I guess it's just how they were raised. 86% in Greece. Degenerate Greece. By the way, prostitution is legal in Australia and Greece, I guess. Partially legal in Brazil. Brazil, 61%. See, even Brazil, they're conflicted. They know, 39% of them know that it's wrong. Probably a lot of them know that it's wrong, but they want to pretend like they don't know. Germany, 91% don't think that there's a problem with S out of wedlock. They've rejected their Christian upbringing, right? 83% think nothing of premarital S. South Africa, 38% think that it's no moral issue. So they know better, but they're still having the S out of wedlock. Communists. 85% in Czechia, no problem with the S out of wedlock. 47% in Mexico think that there is a no problem with S out of wedlock. That means 53% think that there may be a moral problem with S out of wedlock. In the United States, 65%. I guess that's about right. 65% of United States people think that there's no problem with S out of wedlock. Am I boring you guys? Hake trying to brotherly protect the world. Yeah, I'm surprised that it's legal in Australia, whatever, prostitution. It's legal in the Netherlands. Turkey, 7% think there's no problem. Based Muslim Turkey. I use the term based loosely, okay? I'm not like you people. 7% think that there's no problem, but prostitution is legal. It's like biblical times, I guess. They still had the S word with the prostitutes sometimes. You would read about that in the Bible stories. Spain, 91% think there's no problem. France, 94% think there's zero problem. I would hear about the French. The French, what's up with the French that are kind of degenerate like that? Russia, 50% think there's no problem, so 50% think there is a problem morally. Poland, 65%, they're like America. Israel, 58%. They're a little bit less loose morally than America. South Korea, 56%. Nigeria, 16% think there's no problem with S out of wedlock. Indonesia, 2%. Most of them think that there's a problem. Malaysia, 8% think there's no problem with sex out of wedlock. China, 29%. And India, 21% think there's no problem. See, and those are not even necessarily Christian countries, but they know better. It's not just a Christian thing or a Muslim and Christian thing. It's sort of a common sense thing, common decency. Don't be having the S out of wedlock. What a mess. Premarital sex, is it illegal? No. Wow, why is premarital sex illegal? It's not illegal anywhere except maybe somewhere. I don't see any place. Okay, in Malaysia and Indonesia only is it illegal. Wow. Sort of interesting, I thought. That's your 6 promiscuity factors that I saw on Reddit. It's on Reddit somewhere. Oh, and there's sources. Let me show you the sources down below so that you can actually find it. I'll have this linked on my blog post, thehakereport.com, later today. Things to note, the top scoring number for each factor is highlighted. The countries that did not have data were blah, blah, blah. Indonesia passed criminal codes outlawing sex outside of marriage in December. Malaysia has criminalized premarital sex for its many Muslim citizens who are bound by Sharia law, Islamic law. South Africa was the only country on the list with an HIV prevalence higher than 0.82%, at 14.75%. We deducted 14% from the overall STD rate of 37,273 per 100,000 and used an STD rate of 32 as a more direct comparison with the other countries. Whoa! So they gave South Africa a handicap because they have so much HIV. What a mess. And I wonder if they're born with it too, because there's a lot of like child-headed households. And their sources, Daily Star, Indy 100, World Population Review, Wise Voter, Pew Research, Wise Voter, whatever that is, Archive, Sex Work Law countries, and FADOR's countries that are not friendly towards unmarried couples. Nice. Wild, huh? Sort of. So that's your little Reddit bro stuff. Criminalizing. By the way, you can follow Hake on Reddit. It's a channel. I'm not very active there. I'm scandalized, says Terry. Criminalizing fornication is based. S in South Africa is a gamble. We don't need the sources, Hake. Thanks. It's not good. It's a mess. Let's get to some calls, guys. And I'll get to the super chats as well, hopefully. Jaime in Minnesota is on the line here. Jaime, thank you for calling and holding. How you doing, man?
What's up, Hake?
Not much. How about you?
Pretty good. How was your weekend?
It was nice. Thank you. Went to the beach, hung out. Church on Sunday. It was refreshing.
That's good.
Yeah,
hey,
how about
I just want to give Kentucky Fried Chicken John, some advice.
Yes.
And it's that if you get stopped by a cop and you already have a prejudice about how that cop's going to act,
yeah,
you're in the wrong for that.
That's fair.
You can't prejudice these cops, white or otherwise, because you never know how they're going to be.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I've seen a lot of cop cam videos.
Uh-huh.
And mostly white women and black women. And there's a few black men. But the cops in these videos, they come up nice, really nice. And they're from different areas, you know.
Right.
But it's not the cops. This is definitely not the cops.
Interesting.
It's the person that's getting stopped. And if a person like John is always getting, drawn the quote-unquote bad cop, there's something wrong with John. And John's got to look at that.
Yeah, I mean, look at how he judges me and judges George Zimmerman. And like you pointed out, he admitted that he sees a cop coming up to him. He's profiling the cop the same way he feels that the blacks are getting profiled by the cops and the whites. So he's bringing it on himself, thinking that they're doing it to him, and it's really him doing it to them. And they may be doing it to him, but it's kind of it takes two to tango, and cops are human too. They're fallen state evil people. That's why I said all white cops are evil, just to clarify, right? Because everybody's evil, and they can be provoked. And you provoke them, and they're a mess. And it's not good. They shouldn't be provoked, but they are. Especially nowadays. People are weak, including cops.
99.99% of cops, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, they're all just doing their job and want to get going.
Right.
They're not out to provoke anybody.
There is
Go
ahead.
There's only 0.00. There's probably just one cop in all of the cops in the U.S., and it's not in Kentucky.
What do you think about the stereotype of cops who got bullied and they want to become bullies? They're cowards and they want to become bullies now. Is that a fair or unfair stereotype? Because stereotypes can be fair or they can be unfair.
That's unfair. It sounds like a cope to me.
One of John from Kentucky's main points, according to Spoiler Alert, and I think he's right, was that he shouldn't even be having to deal with any of these cops as much as he does. He's getting profiled and pulled over just because he's black, according to him.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I think you brought up a good point.
Yeah, go ahead.
He should move, or he's probably in a bad area. And if he's working as many hours as he works, he should be able to afford a better place in a better neighborhood with less cops. And
don't drive a Cadillac, and don't wear sports gear. That's typical criminal stuff.
Yeah, but you can do that in my neighborhood.
Right.
Nobody's gonna bother you.
True.
But there's a place in Minneapolis you don't want to be dressing like that.
Right.
Unless you're part of that clique.
Yeah. And the more out of control the people get, the more out of control you're giving the excuse for the government to get, including cops, including politicians and lawyers and judges. They're going out of control too, you know. That's why they're able to clamp down on Trump and Trump supporters. That's why they're able to clamp down on blacks and whites and everybody. The blacks are getting more out of control, and it's giving them, the cops and the politicians like that, because then they can clamp down, come up with new laws or new policies to clamp down on whites and normal people. You saw that with the China virus lockdowns and mask mandates and stuff like that. They shut down everybody, you know?
Right. And what it is with a politician, it's about money and power to get that money. You know, there's a big pool of taxes, and for some reason you got to be a mayor or you got to be a comptroller or something to get to the money.
Huh.
And the way to get the votes is to make a big stink about something and say you're going to do something about it. And then you get voted in, and then for the however long you're in, 2 years, 4 years, nobody's watching you very closely, you know? So you can take pennies, quote unquote pennies, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody's going to catch you.
I disavow it.
That's what,
obviously.
Not everybody on the local level especially, not everybody on the national level, I'd say 20% for sure.
Yeah.
At least. But those are some really gross facts you're telling us about the STDs.
Yeah, isn't it terrible? What a mess.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah. My bag. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen and kids. And it's faint
you hear
heart.
About the lady in NorCal, the teacher? White teacher is getting 4 years for S-wording a student.
Oh, wow. Female teacher or female teacher or male teacher?
Female teacher.
Oh, okay. Wow, 4 years. A 14-year-old boy?
Yeah, and she's going to be registered as an offender.
Wow.
Registered offender for the rest of her life.
Interesting.
The kid died.
What?
Yeah.
Suicide or what?
From high fives.
So the kid didn't really die then?
No, he didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I know. That's the part of the corruption is like, did you know that on average, speaking of S-word facts and kind of gross, on average, boys have S-word earlier in age, at a younger age, for the first time, than girls do. That means that boys are getting with older girls or women.
Yeah. And, you know,
crazy.
This happened in California, and
yeah,
there's been a lot of this stuff where the female teachers are finally getting busted and held accountable.
It happens all the time. The female teachers are getting caught doing that. Sometimes male teachers, but male teachers are not as common, unfortunately, anyway, period. But female teachers are mamas. Sometimes they get themselves killed over it, too. I told this story.
In public schools, you know, and that's another reason why you shouldn't have your kids going to public schools with this trans stuff, especially with the gruesome Newsom guy saying, hey, it's really okay, because they're going to be sexualizing these kids, and it's going to be more frequent, and then they're going to make it, well, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not a good look.
Right.
So.
Interesting, man. It's terrible.
Hey, I was about to watch that shooting.
Oh,
Massey shooting, and I couldn't watch it.
You're talking about the one the Sonya Massey one with the
I was going to watch the 36-minute one, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
I know
Who
what
wants
happens.
to spend all that time? I would just watch the one that Spoiler Alert sent to me, and that was enough. I'm like, okay, yeah. I suppose it might be I suppose it's a questionable shooting. I couldn't tell whether it was justified or not. It did look like she picked up the thing again. You know? And
there's a lot more factors to it anyways. I mean, I would have wanted to see a toxicology report on both of them.
Oh.
And then I would want to see, you know, did they know each other from past, you know, do they know each other?
Oh.
There's just all the facts is that she picked it up. That's not enough for me.
Yeah. Right.
But if I was a betting man, and plus this guy, he does deserve some time,
What makes you say that?
but not because he killed an unarmed woman.
But she wasn't unarmed necessarily. She had that.
Well, I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Oh, okay. But
in my view,
having
he could have shot her. He could have done a lot of other things. And,
I don't know. You could get fired for that. Maybe if it was a mistake, or if you didn't follow policy.
Yeah, it was like a mistake. And I think maybe he should get like a year probation, maybe even a year off duty paid.
Okay.
And something like that, but some sort of punishment.
A year off duty paid.
Yeah, paid.
Well, thank you, Jaime in Minnesota. Appreciate you, man.
All right, bye.
Take care. Bye. Oh, hopefully I don't get clicked. Whew. Steven in Maryland is on the line here. Steven, what's up? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Turn off the show. Mute the volume of the show. I'm hearing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's 87, guys. You're 87, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm calling to tell you I was profiled
Oh, really? When?
4 years ago.
Really? And when you were 83?
Yeah.
What were you profiled as?
I was I bought a newspaper from 7-Eleven. I pulled around the corner. It was a nice day, so I thought I'd sit there and read my newspaper. I was there for about 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, here comes a police officer. One was on my left. That one scared me to death because he just pulled up. But then the other one, he got out the car and came to the window.
Yeah.
But then I could see out the corner of my eye was another one on my right, and he had his hand on his gun.
Whoa.
Can you believe that? I'm just sitting there reading a newspaper. The old man with glasses, gray hair.
What happened? Well, you were around a 7-Eleven. Crimes happened at 7-Eleven.
I was around the corner in a residential neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
I figured somebody in that neighborhood called on me because it was a white neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay. They don't know you. They want to approach you with
newspaper.
They want to approach you with extreme caution. Lots of prowlers pretend to be reading newspapers.
Pretend. An 80-some-year-old man.
They couldn't tell your age.
Civic.
Do black crack?
Civic.
Did you look like you were 80-something from far away?
Yes, I do.
From far away?
I do. I had gray hair. Gray hair. You can see gray hair.
You know who else has gray hair? Hake, Big Bump, Rika, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if I've seen Frederick in person. He might have, and we're in our 40s. It doesn't mean that it's 87-year-olds kill too.
I wasn't drinking anything.
Right.
I didn't have no soda. I wasn't smoking because I don't smoke.
Nice. So
I wasn't throwing nothing out the window.
And so
no trash and nothing.
And
I was just sitting there reading the newspaper.
So no harm done. The cops just followed the tip.
Asked me what was I doing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there reading the newspaper.
Right.
He said, "You waiting for someone?" I said, "No." But then he said, "You'll have to move."
Nice. Did you move?
I mean, nice. Yeah. I'm not gonna stand there and argue with no police officer. One on my right hand with a hand on his gun.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
No, some people would argue with them.
Not me. I got a little sense. When you get old, you get a little more.
So you didn't say, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
No.
Good.
I didn't think about nothing like that. I said, well, okay, I'm gone.
You don't drink, right?
No.
Nice.
Don't drink. Well, I was in the military 30 years. We didn't do a whole lot of drinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean,
anyway,
military.
I want to ask you anything about these. I want to tell you about you people. I think you're a bunch of cowards.
Who?
White people. Like George Zimmerman.
Uh-huh. He wasn't normal white. He wasn't normal white.
Yes, he was. Almost. Almost.
Right, almost. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, almost.
But what's cowardly about George Zimmerman?
Do you think he would have bothered that teenager if he didn't have that weapon?
Well, first of all, there's no evidence that he bothered the teenager other than looking at him, being looked at. If being looked at bothers you, then that's a you problem.
Following someone, he told her don't follow him. But
No, they said we
him.
don't need you to do that, and there's no evidence. There's no evidence that he continued to follow him after that.
Yes, it did.
No, there's
but
not.
Moving on to the next one.
All right. So that's one non-example.
Yeah, that's one example. Okay, this a white girl named Hannah Payne down in Georgia. I don't know if you remember this shooting where she stopped. This man had an accident, hit a semi.
Ooh.
He was in a truck. But anyway, he hit a truck. And she drove off and she chased him down. And she wound up pulling out her gun and shot him, killed him.
So Hannah
Payne. Do you
Payne.
think if she didn't have that gun, that she would trail that black man?
So Hannah Payne.
He was 62 years old.
Okay, Fox 5 Atlanta. This is the first I'm hearing of this woman. Hannah, Hannah, Payne, Payne. December 15th, 2023, a Georgia jury has unanimously found Hannah Payne guilty on all counts of the 2019 shooting and killing of 62-year-old Kenneth Herring. Okay, so this gal, according to you, she just killed him because she was...
She didn't have that gun.
Wait, but what?
She wouldn't have trailed him.
She followed a man and killed him? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, she trailed him and killed him.
Why? Was she mad or was she scared or what?
I don't know.
Oh, so you didn't even know the situation. You're calling her a coward.
Yeah, she was a coward because she was there. She witnessed the accident. Wait a minute. She witnessed the accident.
An accident, okay.
Yeah, and she was talking to the truck driver, the semi, the white guy in the semi.
Okay.
And it was a black guy. He was having, I think he said he had a diabetic problem. So he drove off, smoking and everything. And she trailed.
So he left the scene of an accident?
Yeah.
So he left the scene of an accident, and you're not supposed to do that, right?
Right. You don't supposed to do that. You don't supposed to chase somebody down with a gun either and kill him.
Right. But so he did wrong, and then she did wrong in response?
She did. You see what happened to her.
Wait. Kenneth
charged with murder.
Kenneth Herring, he fled the scene of an accident or something?
Yeah.
Wow, he shouldn't have done that. In a semi?
Yeah, he had a semi. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look into this story. I don't know. It's so when blacks attack whites in like large numbers from behind, is that cowardly too?
Say that again.
When blacks sneak attack on whites, is that cowardly?
When is that? When was that?
All over the place?
Give me a case.
All the time?
Give me a case. No, give me a case.
I don't have a case, but it happens a lot.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't.
Oh, I guess I would. I tell you, I was in the military around a whole bunch of white folks. I got a white wife, remember?
Right. That doesn't mean that you would know it. You obviously don't know much if you don't know about blacks attacking whites, unsuspected, and Asians.
I don't see nobody with no weapon running up.
You need to go on Twitter more. You need to peruse X.
Who?
X. Twitter.
What's wrong with ABC and NBC? And
they're not going to tell you what's going on. They're not going to tell you what the blacks are up to.
Why not? It's news.
No, because they're not interested in.
Hannah Payne was news.
They're not interested in telling you the whole truth about what's happening, about what black on white crime, black on black crime, black on Asian crime, black on old people crime. They're only going to tell you about these extreme cases.
Wait a minute. What about the other? Wrong reverse.
They're only going to tell you about these rare cases where a white kills a black, not the other way around.
That's the only time they report it.
Yeah, because they're liberals. They want to lie to you and pretend and kiss up and cater to you, people.
Why? What will they get out of it?
Democrat voters, for one.
Hey,
they'll keep they'll keep up the fake idea that racism is real and that whites are the ones who are guilty of it.
They are. That's true.
How about blacks? Are blacks guilty of racism more or whites?
Whites.
See, that's your brainwashing. You don't know. You don't know the reality of the situation.
Another thing too. Now the third one I want to talk to you about.
All right, real
Mark
fast.
said he voted for George Wallace, right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
So he had to be at least 21. What branch of the service did he get drafted into?
Huh?
What branch of the military? Because the draft was out there. Everybody had to go in. So what branch did he go in?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Ask him when next time he calls.
I don't know if I'll remember. Huh?
Because I know Jesse Lee Peterson, he ducked it.
No, he didn't. They rejected him. He tried to join the military and they rejected him. So now you're just lying. Typical black making up stuff. Typical hater.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with him?
He had a cleft palate. Back in those days, they had high standards, and they didn't accept people who had cleft palates, who couldn't breathe straight. Nose breathers only in the military. Back in the based days, they didn't like mouth breathers who had to breathe through their mouths because they had a cleft palate or whatever. So you're making up stuff.
Okay, how about Mr. Trump?
I gotta run, man. Mr. Trump didn't do anything wrong. He had bone spurs. Because he had bone spurs. What's good about being drafted? Nothing. Yeah, he had bone spurs. He couldn't do it. He had bone spurs. Anyway, I gotta go. Aren't you glad that he's alive today and not maimed and had a 1,000-yard stare with the rest of the Vietnam vets?
Who?
Trump.
Who's alive?
That Trump is alive to be president, our greatest. I'm sure glad he didn't go into the evil, dumb military. Shout out to the evil, dumb military. But you guys didn't do anything good. You went in and killed and got killed. What's good about that? Nothing.
Dumb.
I got to go, Stephen and Marilyn. Huh?
Our country. That's protecting
they did
our
not
country. What's wrong with you?
Going over to Vietnam didn't do anything to protect our country. Give me a break.
I ain't talking about Vietnam. I'm talking about the other branches. When we went in Germany, how about Germany?
Germany didn't protect our country? That was mess.
Germany protected our country.
When we went into Germany, that did nothing to protect our country. Maybe it did. I don't know, but whatever. It's questionable. Yeah, I wasn't there, but I think it did more harm, perhaps more harm than good. But who am I? I know nothing. I got to run, man. And Trump wouldn't have fought in World War II. That's crazy talk. Take care, Stephen.
He's not that old.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have fought in World War II.
Right.
Because I'm not old enough to fight in World War II.
Yeah, so nothing good happened after World War II. No good wars.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah. What were good about those? Nothing.
Nothing. When I was in the military...
Maybe there was some good stuff that happened, but I don't think that it was.
Oh, I enjoyed myself when I was in.
Oh, I mean, you can have fun in the midst of it. There's some good things that can happen in the midst of it.
I went all over Europe. I know a whole lot of your people didn't get to where I went to.
Right on. Take care, Stephen.
All countries. Especially Sweden.
Beautiful Sweden.
Yes.
Take care, man. Gotta run. All right.
All right.
Bye. Woo. I have a few more super chats to read. Frederick in Los Angeles, you're going to have to hold on. Daniel in Texas, please. I may not be able to get to you guys. Hang on. Let me see what it is. Because these are long super chats. Oh, Lord. Mo Betta says, woo, I missed your live on Friday when John from Kentucky called into the show with you and Big, B-I-G-G, Big Bump. I can only imagine how John reacted after hearing that really good media troll about George Zimmerman winning the McDonald's Monopoly Million a few years back. Tears coming out. And then David from Florida calls in shouting like Netanyahu's party animal son accent, trying to steer the narrative like Joe from Phoenix, rolling on the floor laughing. No, normally David is sensible, but I think he's just mad. More on David avoiding the draft to fight in Gaza. David's not Israeli, I don't think. The German people have been socially engineered into virtue signaling to show the world, look at me, I was a good grandpa and got 20 COVID boosters. Look at me, I sent my money to feed the kids in Africa. Using that mentality, the people who seized control of Europe forced Germans to buy enormous, environmentally damaging solar farms. Even though they got unobstructed sunlight about 20 days per year. Ja, look at me. Ich ist saving the environment. Do you realize the amount of so-called fossil fuel and ugly chemicals released into the sky, melting that much useless glass and filthy electronics components, chopping down large grids and taking up useful farms to install them. These powerful Swiss, Israel, EU, whoa, I can't say that word. Powerfuls forced Germany to go into extreme solar power when the entire country gets 20 days of summer per month, or per year, I think he meant. Rolling on the floor, laughing, this is true power. Somebody got rich, not the German tax-paying citizen. Shh. Okay, one last for today from Mobetta. Not to add Chuck from New Jersey's fears about air pollution. Chuck from New Jersey called on the Hake Report on Friday. Man, I'm not going to be able to play my Vroom song. What a mess. Imagine what happens to densely populated areas with their local groundwater has been saturated with mass-produced birth control pills and hormone pharmaceuticals since the industrial 1960s. These things do not biodegrade through the municipal sewage treatment process, and they sneak into even bottled water. It can cause 2020's girls to think they are boys and 2020's boys to think they are girls. So says Mobetta. Stand up. Thank you for your coffees, Mobetta. Appreciate them as always, man. Yeah, it's not just air pollution, it's water pollution. I told you about in TJ, Mexico, the Tijuana River. They're causing problems because their human waste is getting into the Tijuana River and flowing out into our shores. And it's getting into the air, causing breathing problems for people down in the San Diego area. It's a mess. Ooh, crazy. Whole lot of mess going on in the world. Based America First has another super chat. Popcorn's Thump Keg. Amaze in Asia says and I'll have to read you guys' longer ones another day. In reference to the John caller, Amaze in Asia says, still wearing sportswear while not in the gym when you know most criminals are black and wear sportswear when committing crimes and not expecting to get pulled over for matching a description is crazy. That's right, Amaze in Asia. C-Bill bought a coffee. John from Kentucky sounds like a mama's boy, LOL. Whoa. David from Ocala sounds like a little scary little girl. Beta, ha. Whoa. I mean, thank you guys for your super chats. Lin Yen Chin says, please stop abusing me with your idiot noise S for sex. Just say, no, I'm not going to say those C words. Now I just wasted my money. I know you won't fix this phonic folly damaging my central nervous system. You can omit the word too. My bag, Lin Yen Chin. I'm not going to say coitus or copulating. That's even worse. I'd rather just say sex. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin. I'll try to do better. This has been the Hake Report, guys. I got to end. The callers, I could not get to you, Frederick, and I forget who else was in there. Enjoy some Hake music, and I'll have to end. And Joel Friday coming in next. Enjoy Youth Brigade, Barbed Wire. Here it is. Oh, yeah. '81, guys. Youth Brigade. Adios, America. Joel Friday coming up next. Bye. Barbed wire fence. That's loud for my ears. I don't know what it's about. So loud in these headphones. Too loud. Nice. Yeah. How do I do this? Adios, America. Jewel Friday coming up next. Bye.